Utah Mammoth fans, tusks up, and welcome into your Utah Mammoth Daily update. So, let's start with the rookie camp. Rookie camp has been going on for a couple of days now, and there are a few standouts. So, who are they? Well, it's the usual list of suspects. It's the ones I've been talking about for a couple weeks now. Tijigan led the sixth overall pick from the 2024 draft, is finally back on the ice after having double hip surgery last year, which is kind of a misnomer. He had hip surgery on one hip and then hip surgery on another hip. Month after, so it wasn't at the same time. He said he watched rookie camp from the sidelines last season, and now he's excited to be in the mix. His words were that the camp has been competitive, gritty, and physical, and that he's just happy to be playing again. Me too, Tidge. You can see the difference when he's out there. There's a lot of skill, but he's also playing with a chip on his shoulder after losing time last year, which is nice to see, especially from someone that could be described as a Nepo baby because, his dad's name and everything like that, but not the case at all. Just watch some highlights of Tidge, watch him play, and that's not the case. On defense, Maverick Lamoureux, he's trying to bulk up and has been open about the grind of eating 8 meals a day to add size. Yeah, okay, kid. I'll eat 8 meals a day and I'll balloon up to 300 pounds. So just you wait. He joked that not every meal tastes good, but it's what he has to do to get stronger, which is true. On the ice, it's been noticeable with his reach and the way he does close down those lanes. Another name is Cole Bedoin, another first-rounder from the same draft as Tijiginla. He said it best, they're all out there to compete, push each other, and make a name for themselves. He's been one of the most vocal guys during camp and hasn't taken a rep off. Then we have the Russians, the ones that we've been talking about for a while. Daniil But, fresh off a championship run in the NHL with Dmitry Simashev. They both look every bit. They look the part, let's be honest. Dmitry Simashev looks every bit the smooth skating defenseman the Mammoth expected when they drafted him. Both But and Simashev look more polished than a lot of other rookies because they've already been playing professionally. So it's not a one-to-one comparison there. One more name that keeps popping up, and one that I forgot until very recently, Artem Duda. He doesn't have the same first-round pedigree as the other guys, but the coaching staff is noticing him. He's been solid, steady, and making smart plays at camp. That's where things stand after 2 days. The big names are obviously delivering, and some of the depth guys are showing that they belong as well, which means that the rookie camp is doing exactly what it needs to do. But how is this particular group of rookies faring against the Colorado Avalanche? Well, not great, but the result doesn't even really matter when it comes to the rookie showcase. It's just showing, can these guys play at an elite level? That's what the rookie showcase is really all about. So the rookies got their first real test against Colorado's prospects, and the Avalanche did eventually come out on top. The Mammoth lost the game, but this is where the details matter. Tijiginla had some good looks, but he didn't get on the board. Daniil But showed off his size and hands in tight. He was noticeable even in a loss, which is kind of important in these games. On the back end, Simashev and Lamoureux each had moments where you could see their upside, but they also got caught out, and caught out pretty badly, on a couple of times against Colorado's quicker forwards. So adjusting to the speed of the game is not new for any sport at the elite level. They'll just have to do so themselves. Goaltending was a mixed bag. The saves were there early, but as the game went on, Colorado's depth wore them down, which is to be expected. These aren't full depth rosters. Special teams were an issue too, but again, these guys were just thrown together, so it's not something to note heading into main training camp here. The takeaway from this one is that Utah's rookies showed flashes of what they can be, but there's still a gap when you compare them to a team like Colorado that's been developing high-end talent for years. They've had guys like Nathan McKinnon, Cale Makar. I mean, you know the list as well as I do. It's a reminder that the Mammoth are still building their system. Even though they do have that elite high-end talent, there's not much depth behind it, and this is still a long-term process. But if you're looking for positives, you saw competition, you saw effort, and the skill. So the foundation is there. They just need to build on it. Somebody that we didn't really spend much time in the pipeline was Logan Cooley. So what's going on with his contract? I wanted to look into this because of what happened with Kirill Kaprizov and him rejecting that massive deal. And so I did some math, which is dangerous. It's dangerous. Logan Cooley is entering the final year of his entry-level contract. Everybody within the state of Utah and Idaho, Wyoming, everybody knows that. And everyone's starting to ask what the next deal might look like. How long, average annual value, what's it going to look like? Well, last season, let's just go with the points, not necessarily what the player means to the franchise. Let's just go with points. So Logan Cooley had 65 points in 75 games. To put that in perspective, Wyatt Johnston in Dallas put up 71 points in 82 games. So you could see Logan Cooley easily doing that in 82 games. And Wyatt signed a 5-year deal worth, what was that? $8.4 million per year. So that average annual value, $8.4 million. Matthew Nyes scored 58 points in 78 games for Toronto and landed a 6-year deal at $7.7 million per year. Cooley's production sits right between those guys. I would say it's closer to Johnston's than Nyes, which makes the projection pretty clear. Kind of. I mean, it's always murky, especially with an increased salary cap coming up, but he's probably looking at a deal in the, I would say, $7 to $9 million average annual value range. And the length could be anywhere from 5 to 7, maybe even 8 years, depending on the team and Logan Cooley's camp and how they want to structure everything. For Utah, this isn't just about locking up a good player. Cooley is, you could debate, he is the franchise centerpiece for the future. Right now, it's all about Kells and Sergachev. Even, I mean, you could go so far as even Veggie, Karel Vejmelka, but he's the guy they want to market. He's the guy they want leading into the playoffs year over year. Clay Keller is still young. I mean, he's like 27, right? So he's still young. He's a graybeard in that locker room, but the future is Cooley. And he's the guy you build your roster around. Getting him signed sooner rather than later gives them cost certainty and avoids the drama of an offer sheet down the line. If you're trying to figure out when this gets done, it usually happens either before the season starts or next summer. Think Dylan Guenther, he signed his deal around this time last year. So make no mistake, Cooley's next deal is going to set the tone for the Mammoth's future. And personally, I want to get that locked up and done sooner rather than later so that it's more fun for people like me to project what the roster looks like in the future. But let's talk about the goalies now. Kind of swinging the door into a random room here, but let's go. Goaltending is one of the biggest differences heading into the season. Last year, the Mammoth had just 2 shutouts all year. That number should climb. It should climb just because there's stability now, especially around the D line. So it's not all on the goalies that there wasn't any shutouts. I almost said shootouts, but shutouts. Veggie is the starter, and he's locked in long-term with a 5-year extension that he signed towards the end of last season. He finished strong last season and gives them a reliable number 1, which is all you can ask for, really. When you don't have the elite of a Bobrovsky, you've got reliability with Veggie. You know what you're getting. Behind him, there's a battle. Utah signed Vitek Vanacek to a 1-year, $1.5 million deal, and he'll compete with Connor Ingram for the backup job. Both have NHL experience, and that depth is something the Mammoth didn't have last year. We didn't even really know what Veggie was going to be. We knew Connor Ingram was going to be the starter, but we didn't know what was behind him. The difference now, or even looking ahead, Michael Hrabel is the prospect to watch. Yes, there's Jackson Stauber, but Michael Hrabel, he's getting better and better and better. He's just 20 years old and probably still a few years away, but the organization sees him as a potential NHL starter down the road. The difference now is stability. For the first time in a while, Utah has a clear starter, legitimate competition for a backup role, and a top prospect developing in the pipeline. If the defense holds up and stays healthy in front of them, there's no reason this team can't put up 5 or 6 shutouts this year, which would be the difference between playoffs and not playoffs if we were looking at last year. That might not sound like a lot, but it's a big jump from where they were. It's another piece of the puzzle coming together for a franchise that's just about able to find their identity. So that's where things stand right now. Rookie camp producing real competition, which is all you can really ask for when it comes to rookie camp. The showcase against Colorado giving perspective, kind of seeing where the pipeline's at versus an annual rival because they are in the same division. And Logan Cooley's next contract is still looming large on the horizon, but a goaltending situation that finally looks stable. So that is your Utah Mammoth Daily update for today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.